Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get something together last week, but starting this week, you will have one every week in the beginning of the week. Hopefully, you're still looking forward to them. I'm going to start by just spraying myself here with this beautiful Metatron spray. Ben, close your eyes. Speaking of eyes, I have a little eye thing going on too. So if you're wondering why my eye's all bloodshot, I got some eye makeup in my eye. So I think Spirit's trying to tell me something here. Anyways, I had a lot of time to think and meditate and have quiet time last week as I started to ground a little bit more, and as I had my wonderful channeling class with, it was wonderful seeing all my ladies that are in my channeling class on Zoom. And it's amazing how even through the computer I could feel the connection, the love, and all of that. It was wonderful to feel connected again, because I'm sure all of you are starting to feel it being in the house this long. And even though there's plenty to do, I started cleaning all my cabinets and doing spring cleaning and all of this. It's still not the same, but I wanted to talk to you today about really, I know the last, couple weeks ago, we talked about prayer and all of that and really doing your part. But there is an urgency to things that I have been feeling and I have been told. And it's not an urgency to start fear or anything, it's just an urgency to step it up. And I know I talked about it, the masters asked me to speak about it before, and I'm speaking about it again because I was asked to. And it's interesting, as I'm saying this, I have these frequencies going through my ears. Almost like someone's wanting to come through. I'm just going to close my eyes because I feel like Spirit's wanting to say something. Just give me a minute. Dear ones, it is a time like no other time. The moment is now. The time is here. Again, this is not meant to be any sign of fear that goes out, because we know that when fear goes out, it's like a frequency or a ripple effect that affects and infects everyone. But it is a time of knowing this is the moment. And you have asked to all be here to participate in this moment, your souls. This is why you have incarnated in this lifetime at this time. And it is very exciting indeed, as many of the kingdoms gather around to support you. The angelic kingdom is very much present with the transformation that has started. It is far from finished, my friends. It is something that has begun, and it must be put into play. So as you move forward, day to day, in your day, living your day, please know that this is a time to be aware, awake, and alert. You must be aware of what's going on. You must be aware of, although there's a virus going on and there's other things going on, This has brought us to this moment in time. It could have been something else, but it's a virus that has infected everyone in one way or another, and it has affected everyone. We wish for you to see the miracles that are happening out of this time. The animals that are coming back when they were almost extinct. The waters that are clearing. The skies that are clearing. And focus on the positive. Now we understand that in many ways it is hard for one to do that when they are worried about their future and their finances and their jobs. But in the divine time out, you have been placed in your own homes so you can control what's happening there. You can be in your meditation. You can be lighting your candles. You can be saying the rosary or praying without distractions or disruptions. It is very important that you do what your own guidance is telling you to do, whatever that may be. We suggest you start your day that way, and the rest of your day will follow on a very high frequency. If you don't, it's like you're letting the forces and the powers that be that are not positive, and you're joining in all the fear that's going out around the planet. And it becomes one big stark soup. And before you know it, you're even more depressed than you were before. So every day, choose the light, if that is your wish. And every day, just by saying, I choose the light today, you are making your commitment. You are recommitting to what you came here to do. Many of you are warriors in the light, in the cause of the light. Many of you have proved your allegiance over and over again to Spirit. It is time once again to rise up with your hearts and lead with your hearts and what feels right to you. Dear ones, this is a very individual choice. Everyone is making that decision and choice for themselves. It is time. Please know that anyone that is having a hard time on any level just has to ask the masters, the angelic kingdom, whoever you relate to, Jesus, Michael, whoever you connect with, ask for help if you're having trouble staying focused or staying in the light. It is true that your planet and everybody on it is a free will planet. And so you each have to choose what it is you want, and you each have to choose to ask for help. Once you've asked for help, there are many angels that will swoop in, as you say, to help you. You cannot do it alone. And you live in a time with many variable outcomes. We see the outcome of heaven on earth. We see the outcome of a new earth. but much has to happen before that can happen. So we will leave you today with a blessing for each and every one of you whose eyes come across this screen. A blessing for love, self-love, and a blessing for love to go out to everything on this planet. And we start to lift another layer of the veil that has been placed over your eyes of who you really are. I say thank you from the light of the most radiant one. Interesting, I did not know there was going to be a message coming direct. I thought I was I don't know the word I wanted to say. Anyways, so he said it all. I'm going to let it be at that one. All right, we have some cards for the week. Want to announce that you probably have seen the advertisement that went out for my free class called Standing Firm When the Ground You're Standing On Is Shaking. I did not create this. This is Mary Morrissey's creation from Brave Thinking Institute. And it was meant to be, it came out of being created for some hard times that she went through. And each one of us can relate to times when we've had a hard time, whether it was going through a divorce or an illness or loss of job or loss of person in our life or death, whatever. And it's an amazing course. So it's free. And I hope you will join me. And it will be on a conference call number. So we're getting ready to start that this week. So for anybody who did not see that in an email, please give me a call at 413-526-9840 or email me and let me know that you're interested. And I will give you the rest of the details. Okay, so on to our cards. The first one from Keepers of the Light, Kyle Gray, I asked what master would like to work with us for the week. And we got Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. It's a very interesting card. So Melchizedek is a high priest who is mentioned in the Bible's book of Genesis and many other sources too. He is here to assist the earth through the ascension process, which is basically moving everyone and everything back to a state of love and harmony. He appears with bright light around him and a long white beard to match his ancient high priest ways, and is said to have his own order of light-filled priests who are able to help spiritual people develop their gifts and qualities. As he works on a high energetic level, we can connect with him through sacred geometry and by focusing on ancient star-shaped glyphs. You have learned so much to this point and are learning more every day. You are recognizing all of the great lessons your experiences and challenges have brought to you, and you are preparing for a transition or inner ascension, where you will move beyond another level of fear into the inner sanctum of your heart. Oh, I love that phrase, the inner sanctum of your heart. Become aware of patterns, ancient symbols, and signs being sent to you from the universe. There's a sense that you are now able to focus in a new way and offer greater light to the world. Melchizedek and his order are with you now, leading you towards spiritual wisdom. Meditate and connect with their light. So, right there, that is beautiful. We know who to call on. Remember, he said to ask for whoever you need for help. Well, this week it's Melchizedek. So, lots of wisdom and power there. Okay, the next card is from Yasmin Boland. What do you need to release? And this is the waning moon. So let's see. The waning moon points to what's falling away. Life goes in cycles, and sometimes we need downtime or to let go. No matter when in the moon cycle you pull this card, it's a sign that a situation has peaked, for better or worse, and it's time for you to go easy. It's the autumn and winter of the cycle. So what do you need to release? Almost certainly something from the situation you're asking about. Well, I didn't ask for anything except for what does the group need to know where we're at right now. This card can be very positive, but can still be gently suggesting that you let something go and stop trying so hard. It's safe to let go and move on. Move forward with a little resistance as possible. This is not a time to start a new project. Release emotional baggage. So take a moment to look up at the sky every night. You will see the moon growing smaller and smaller as she moves from full to new again. It's a time when things are falling away. It's certainly not the time to cling to anything. Drawing this card suggests your situation is in its autumn and winter phase. So hunker down and start the regeneration process. Very appropriate, because many of you have said that you're cleaning out, getting rid of things, going through things, and somebody was telling me, I don't remember who it was, somebody was telling me that they know somebody who owns a dumpster business, and they have gone off the charts for business because people are getting rid of stuff. What a great time to do that. And I don't know if you know this, but I started with my attic. The attic in your home represents the superconscious. And so I cleaned the attic first. Then I went into the cellar, which is the subconscious, the stuff that we're not aware of necessarily consciously. So when you clean out, especially like your cellar, you're going into the depths of your subconscious mind to keep it clean, to clean out, get rid of all that stuff that's just found a place there. And so this is very, very, very important. So I started with those and then moved on to the other rooms. But, really looking at how much we have that we don't even need or use or whatever. So passing it on or getting rid of it. All right, from Danielle, Rebecca Campbell. Just love her stuff. A New Earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Wow, how about that? What was just talked about in the channel. Isn't that funny? The New Earth. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. This is your sign that you're facing the right direction. You have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to see the new seeds. Dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. And what, again, did he talk about? Keeping your focus. And I love the Tend to the new seeds that we're planting. Planting new seeds and bringing about a shift of the ages is no mean feat. It requires extreme trust and a radical vision. If you pull this card, it's a reminder to keep the faith and hold the faith. You chose to be here. This is too much. Now, obviously, I didn't read these cards first in the channel. You chose to be here to be part of this global shift, whether you're bringing it about through prayer and meditation or through working on a new project. It's happening. Don't give up now. The world needs more dreamers like you, more people with hope in their hearts. The road ahead may not be plain sailing. Ushering in a new age in times of change never is. You're being encouraged to remember that what you've been working towards for so long is almost here. That goes back to talking last week about you've been parts of other civilizations. Don't question yourself now. Don't waver. Dig your devotion deep. For if you do, in the not too distant future, you'll be able to sit back and watch all you've so carefully planted and nurtured grow and bloom. It's possible. Keep focusing on your dreams. You're closer than you think. The question is, how can you keep holding your vision or the vision? So that's an important one. All right, Rebecca Campbell again. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. So it's not over yet, folks. We're not being let out of the divine timing just yet. This is a beautiful card. She's actually standing on, it looks like a whale that's in the ocean, and there's flowers all around, and she's just being, you can tell she loves it. She's just being nurtured. The most selfless thing you can do is to fill up your own inner well. When we are running around half filled, we subconsciously look to things and people around us to give us the nourishment and nurturing that we so deeply crave. Nothing can grow in barren lands. You are no good to anyone if you're running on empty. The feminine is bountiful, fertile, and rich. Tend to your own well and watch as the amount you give multiplies. If your inner well isn't full, you will find yourself craving things from the outside world to fill you up. This is our body's intrinsic way of reaching for the grounding and nourishing that we are not allowing ourselves. What nourishes you? What refuels your body? What is the nectar of your soul? What brings you back to life? What is your secret medicine? What makes you feel abundant and fertile, overspilling with life? It may be gardening, arranging flowers, getting a massage, using oils, snuggling up on the couch, hiking, sipping a good coffee at your favorite cafe, attending a women's circle, reading about sacred sites, spontaneous bike rides, walking along the beach, or yin yoga. What nourishes you is your medicine. When you give yourself the medicine that you need to be nourished, you nourish all those around you, for there is more than enough to go around. Your question is, statement that deeply replenishes you today. So that's a great way to start the week. And for me, like I said, when I did my Zoom call and I felt contact with the outside world, with my girls, I felt so nourished because I love people. And so, yes, I have no problem being alone, but that's what did it for me. All right, and the last one is from Alana Fairchild, and this is the power of the divine masculine this time. Very interesting card, an eagle shooting light into his pineal and third eye, actually, and pyramids and orbs all over and light coming out of his hands. So I'll show you that. An empowering energy seeks expression from within. It wishes to free you from confusion, paralysis, and stagnancy. It seeks to stir you into conscious, chosen action, greater discipline and focus. It's time to end the frustration of repeating old patterns. You are ready to break free to a new life. Everything's saying the same thing. Feel inspired, be energized, and focus on your dreams and desires. Take steps to manifest them on the physical plane. Believe your success is attainable. The divine masculine in you knows when to accept and when to say no to a belief, a fear, a habit, person, or situation. This divine masculine energy exists within all men and women. It rallies the spirit and responds in times when you may feel drained, taken advantage of, overwhelmed by too many choices and demands. It cuts through the confusion that comes with choice and priority setting. It refuses to be distracted and keeps you from being dissuaded from your purpose. Isn't that interesting, as it seems like one of the big words for the week is focus, and then we get this. The divine masculine is growing within you now. It is the spiritual light that reveals the truth without filters or veils. Let the energy clear distractions, demands, and dramas from your life. Let it help you discern what is best for you and give you the courage to act on it. Let it help you sort out what is true from the illusion. Let it help you dictate your time and energy to what has most meaning for you. It will empower you to empower you to claim success and what matters the most. The divine masculine overcomes procrastination. It acts again and again in accordance with the heart. Divine masculine energy empowers each leading light to lovingly assert him or herself on behalf of the world. My goodness, this is all making total sense with the message. It supports us in standing for what has meaning to the heart within while lovingly but firmly saying no when we need not. Do not minimize your inner divine masculine, whether you be a man or a woman. Nourish it. However, if your masculine energy has been trapped in the wounds of your heart, you may demand absolute perfection before you and believe you are worthy of love. He may even be violent towards you, perhaps keeping you from saying no to violent relationships or self-harming habits. He may need healing from the inner divine feminine to feel loved, valuable, worthy, needed, and respected. Then the inner doubt will fall away as a new empowered divine masculine asserts itself within you. Learn to trust this part of yourself. Let him become strong in you. He can be your guide, protector, defender. Trust when he says no to something or someone. Trust when he says you are ready for this and encourages you to act as you trust to him. You will trust yourself to be visible. Your inner divine masculine will help you shine your light without fear, so others can also find their way through darkness into love. How beautiful. So we have quite a collection for the week, calling on Melchizedek, looking at what we need to release, visualizing a new earth as we go into deep replenishment for our own souls. And it's kind of like in different civilizations, before people went out to, I don't want to say war, but whatever they had to accomplish, they rested first and they got themselves in a good place. Well, we are going to those battles within our minds and our hearts and the inner planes. Many of us are working at night, right from our own beds. As we think we're sleeping, we're being used and called upon to do some work all over that is needed from our energy. So we need to replenish the divine masculine. Just one more thing before we go. The other day, I dropped Archangel Michael. I was heartbroken. And guess what happened? His right hand that he holds the sword in broke off. And I was going to glue it. And I asked about this. Like, I know it was an accident and I dropped it. But I asked about this. Why did his hand in the sword break off? And the answer I got from him was very interesting. He said it's time for all of us to take up our own sword of truth. So he was passing the sword on to me for me to take my own hand and my own sword of truth as a emissary of light, is the word that came, for Michael. So I just thought I'd tell you that. I thought it was an interesting vision that, many of us think that we need somebody else to pray or to ask on their behalf. My mentor, going to my mentor, or you going to a mentor, or thinking you need me to do all of this when I'm just the guide for the journey. So each one of you, there's no one more powerful than praying for you than you. I'm just the reminder of that. But remember, this is a powerful time. And we need the numbers, folks. We're supposed to have 144,000 people in the light in order to tip the scales. And there's days when I believe, how could that be that we don't have that with everybody waking up? But what if you were the one that was needed to tip the scales in the most positive way? So it doesn't have to be a big deal. You are the light, and hopefully you are all in your hearts. Just give it this much more time every day, and always, always come from love. That's all I got for today and this week. I'll see you next week. My love and safety to all of you. Be well.